Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are well. Apologies for the delay. Still some technical issues, and I'm glad I worked through it. I put out a new link as opposed to struggling through it and delaying us further. So why don't we leave a moment or two for those people who haven't seen the new link to find it and log on. Hey, so today I thought we would just practice, and I thought we would just continue with the practice that we did last week, and that was rebroadcast on Sunday. I hope you all enjoyed it. So I thought it was just a simple practice. This summer we're going to work more on practice and less on teachings, but each time I say that, teachings seem to come out. So, but I'm going to endeavor for us to work on connecting an energy, and in particular to connect through nature, which is what I really love to do. So that's sort of what's going forward, because everything we do is about connection, and ultimately what we're connecting to is God, His energy, His Shekhinah, plugging us in. So let's together, why don't we practice? So if those of you in front of your prayer space, you could light the candle, put on the incense. And since we're working with Yahweh Ori, the light of Yahweh, or Yahweh my light, sort of a devotional aspect that you could have, it's a personal attestation to you and what your beliefs are, if you use the word my. So each time you light your candle, and especially with this practice, imagine that God's light is being lit there and you're in the presence of the sacred, that the energy of God manifests through the candle. Because if you light it with that intent, to ask God to come forth and to be manifest through the live, well, a flame is actually alive if you think about it. Through the flame, who's to say that that doesn't happen? Especially if you're devout, especially if you've practiced a lot. And you could actually say the mantra as you light it. And it calls God forth In that way, your shrine becomes an extraordinary place, becomes an altar. Your prayer space becomes an altar, and you've called forth the living energy of God that you pray in front of. As human beings, sometimes it's important to have a physical thing in front of us. It's because we're sensory beings. We see, we feel, we smell, we touch. So to see a light which we can relate to, God that's everywhere, but to believe that His presence is there is a very powerful thing. Because it's not just out there, it's not just in theory, it's not just in thoughts, but that you could, in your devotion and prayer, bring a little piece of Him forward and say your prayers to that presence. And when you light your incense, you offer it up to God as an offering of pleasant smell. We offer up our actions and our words that hopefully are pleasing, right? In our lives, our devotion, when we're in keeping with covenant, that's a very powerful offering of our decisions that line up properly. But also, as we light a candle, that's an offering of a desire to be connected, of a desire of Him to come forth. A prayer is that, yes? Saying the mantra is very much that. We're literally relating to the energy and offering incense. Something we can offer. It's an extension and offering of the heart, of a desire to connect. It begins with a desire, a wish, an intention. Those things are a reaching out for something outside ourselves, a desire to make a movement. And as we walk along the path, we realize, we think we're reaching outside of ourselves. We begin to discover that God lives within us, at our heart, that His life fills and courses through our body, that the very breath we breathe is given through the life that He's created, and that we are not so far removed from Him as we think. We're living in a creation that is alive, and we're alive. And that liveness, for it to be alive, cannot be apart from Him. Nothing can be separated truly from Him for it to exist. And if we come to understand it, we can relax in that. And as we relax, we open. And that openness and the understanding on how to connect, which hopefully I'm somewhat successful at teaching, really helps us to live in that flow, to connect with what's already there. It's merely understanding how to really plug in. And by saying a mantra as Yahweh Ori, we invite that light to flow deeper with us. And we sort of extend ourselves to flow deeper within God's current. So we'll just begin. You meet the mantra where you are. That's why I don't say the Shema, which is a mantra. If it helps you to connect deeper and to have that first step where you could more easier connect with the mantra, then by all means say the Shema. But the mantra itself is a connection. And I teach it straight out because it connects profoundly as well. And it connects immediately. And when we go through our lives, sometimes we need to connect immediately. And we learn how to meet our energy directly with the names of God without a preparation. You sort of hop in to exactly how you are in that moment and you work with it immediately. And we develop that skill. And we understand how the different names affect the energy in different ways. And the only way to get a clear understanding is to meet energy directly using the name. And if one is devout, right, you realize by saying the name, you are taking an attestation of faith. You are renewing your devotion. And for those who aren't particularly religious, you are free to use the names to bring benefit into your life. They are a source of blessing that's open to anyone. And so Yahweh Ori, like we did last week, Yahweh Ori, like we did for the new year, bringing in the light of God, the healing of God, that 24-karat gold of healing, of richness, of bounty, of bringing forth into our lives things that we need, material, food. It's the light of everything, of richness. It's enriching. It helps fill us up, straightens our back, gives us strength and vision and wisdom, connects us to the source. And so when we practice, we connect with the practices we've done in the past. We connect with the practice we did in New Year's Eve and in the late winter, mid and late winter, and the practices we did last week, because it's all still there. And it gets easier and easier each time we do it. So for about 20-25 minutes, we could all practice Yahweh Ori together. And we could also, if one chooses, imagine 24-karat, beautiful rich gold, just like the image that I have. The richness of the gold, of the tree, of the letters. The healing of it. It's not a bright gold. It's not a yellow gold. It's a very warm gold, like warm sand on a beautiful beach. You lie on it and your body just feels healed. The stress goes away. Any hurts go away. And you feel good, toasty warm. and you get up feeling stronger, clearer, and better able to move forward with your day and in your week. So, Yahweh Ori, my friends. Yahweh Ori, Yahweh Ori. Say it one of several ways. You could just repeat it continuously, or you can take little breaks, as I've mentioned in the past. So do it as however, which way you wish. I think for me, I will be saying it continuously today. And it's just the light, and allow the frequency to carry you. The vibration, the words, just you float with it. Yahweh Ori, Yahweh Ori. Yahweh Ori, Yahweh. Yahweh Ori. Breathe, release any tension. So if you would like to, extend it out into the world to friends and family who need a little bit of God's light, if you're able to. So friends and family, just imagine what they look like, or imagine the room they're in, and you just send it out. You can send it out into your space and broaden it. It's using your mind and your imagination, just sending out the energy of healing, of wholeness, 24 karat gold, sending out the energy of God. It takes practice, but to the extent you can, will bring into mind those who need a prayer. And the mantra is a prayer, sending out the essence of God outwards, which provides what is needed. So let's do that for a couple minutes. Always light. Yahweh Ori, be with us forever. Amen. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. That was a very powerful practice. I didn't want to stop. And time flew by. One can get caught up in the energy and the momentum of the prayer, just saying the words. And time passes by quickly. And one with time begins to wish to do it for longer and longer periods. To be in that zone, in that presence, in that clarity, in that richness. And this is how practice can go from being 10 minutes and struggling to continue to 20 to 40. And then you're in sort of fifth gear. And then an hour or two with breaks a day, 3 or 4 day retreats. And it feels incredible. And you come out from it different, better, refreshed, healed. We're really touching in with our true selves to where we come from, to wholeness and beauty. We become complete again. So thank you again for being with me, sharing this beautiful practice with me and us doing it together wherever we are around this beautiful planet. And I look forward to being with you all on Sunday. Have a blessed and wonderful rest of your week. Until then, Yahweh Ori. Bye-bye.